Welcome back to Relationship Status. It's your girl, Nique Cruz.
Tisha Samuel, a.k.a. Professor T.
CL Butler.
And your boy, Yusuf in the building. And remember, you can catch us on all podcast platforms. Just search Relationship Status Podcast. Brother CL.
Yes, sir.
We here for another Monday.
We are.
How was your last week?
My last week was great. Been troubled by some things, but
What were you troubled by?
Oh, do tell. Let us help you.
Yes.
I didn't say I had a problem.
It's a safe space.
It's not a safe
Troubled
space.
by some
It's
things.
a safe space.
I'm troubled by some stuff y'all doing.
Okay.
What
Wow.
you doing?
Oh,
How
we're the
doing?
problem.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm watching.
Y'all,
Well, let's talk about it.
Just
then.
know Big
Let's
Brother's
put it-
watching.
We'll put it on the table.
I'm not, because I'm watching. I'm finishing my investigation.
No, that's not how we should
That's
do
not how
things.
it
We're
goes.
here.
I'm just be warned that I see.
What do you see?
I'm disappointed.
I see.
Because you're a communicator.
Oh, I'm been disappointed too. I've been disappointed too. But I'm watching.
So you're watching. What are you watching?
I'm watching it all.
What's it
Getting
all?
close to Christmas too. Some of y'all getting a bad report.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I've been naughty.
Oh.
I think you like being naughty. That's the problem. That's what you like.
You know, my daughter told me that the other day. She was like, so I made it on the nice list? I was like, well, you'll find out when Santa sends you a letter, because I send them letters in the mail. I act like I'm Santa. And she was like, God, I thought Christmas was canceled this year. I've been showing out all year.
So she was self-assessing.
Yeah.
She was like, I really got to do something with myself.
She can make a hard push. Hard push.
Smart baby.
Yeah, that's my logical child.
Okay, good. That's somebody. Glad to hear somebody's using logic. You know.
Why did you look at me when you said that?
Nique. What's going on? I didn't mean. Nobody can see us. So if you don't say anything, nobody
won't know.
knows.
I'm just saying. Like,
I thought he was talking about me. He looked at you.
No.
no, see, that's her with the subliminal stuff. Like that. She
Oh wow, she's sending shots.
What? Okay, so what shots was I throwing?
Hey, look.
Because I didn't say it. All I said was my child is logical. He said, I'm glad someone's the logical one. Oh.
And to all the listeners out there, notice I'm not a part of this.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Oh, it's unique.
I'm having a great week. I finished Christmas shopping. That's all completed, done, finished. I'm just in a good mood, really.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
Professor
Okay.
T.
I'm having a great week as well. I'm actually thinking about getting a dog.
Yeah.
What kind of dog are you getting?
Well,
Oh, first of all, don't start talking about no homeless dogs.
that's where I was.
Don't get no shelter
'Cause look,
dog.
around the holidays, you know,
Them
I
dogs
start
suck, man. I'm telling you.
No,
around
they
the
don't.
holidays, I start feeling like, you know what? Dogs shouldn't spend Christmas at a shelter.
They don't know it's Christmas.
They don't know it's Christmas. They have no clue.
But
you know, it goes a
still,
lot goes into adopting an animal.
I know. Like I had to be a reference for one of my friends that adopted a dog, and they called me and
What?
talked.
Well, if y'all don't give me one of these broke dogs, I'm not calling nobody.
Yep, you have to
Everybody
go
give me a
spend time
dog.
with the
you do.
animal.
They have to see you interact with the animal.
Nah,
Yep.
man, I ain't doing that.
Think about a lot of these dogs. They experience physical abuse. Some of them, and so they just want to make sure that they're not sending them to a home that's going to abuse the dogs.
Don't the dogs die in a few weeks if they're not gonna get them?
No, they
think it
stay in the
works like
shelter.
that.
Yeah, they stay in the shelter.
If they're healthy dogs, I think they stay.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they're sick, it's different.
A lot of times here in the shelters, they will, after so many weeks of a dog or a cat not being adopted, they send them up north to be adopted.
Right, or to be a part of some of these
They don't have
like
dogs
animal
and cats.
what do
up
they call them?
north.
These animal wellness
Yeah.
camps or whatever, where the
It's
animals
too
can run.
many animals for that.
I agree, but I'm just saying it's a thing. So now let me be clear. I don't want one long term. I just want to adopt one for the holidays.
And then
Because I work.
So you want to be a
so since I'll
what do
be
you call
off,
that?
for the holidays about 3
like
weeks.
a caretaker?
Yeah, I just want one for the holidays, Nique.
I'm
And then
so
send-
disappointed.
and then
I
send it
don't
back?
give a damn.
You gonna give it back?
When I go back to work, who gonna take care of the dog?
Dog,
Dog, dog daycare.
Dog gonna scratch
You
up
have to
them,
pay for that, too.
Them hard
Yeah.
ones.
Can I claim him on my taxes?
Yes,
No.
you can.
No, you can't.
No,
You can
you
claim your dog on your taxes.
You have to have a social
you can
security
have,
number.
You can
can.
create one, and you
a
can
dog. Claim a
you
dog
can
on
put
your
them on
taxes.
insurance, life insurance on
I
them.
don't know, Nique. I
You can
googled
buy
this.
you
back
can
in the
buy
day.
dog life insurance through a company, but you can't put a dog on your life insurance.
No, you can't put them on yours, but you can.
If
and
I-
Medicare.
If I can't
Medicaid.
claim him on my taxes, but like I said, if it's
Well-
not a thing, I think they should make it a thing. Adopt a dog for the holidays.
That is you can be like a temporary thing for a dog.
Well, I'm gonna look into that.
Go ahead. But I would not have no off-brand dog.
Them hardwood floors be tore right up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Well, what about you, Yusuf? I'm about to call you CL. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
it was.
My apologies.
Been a good week. Been a real good week, actually. Enjoying the time. Got a couple of days before school's out, and then vacay.
Oh.
Well, not vacay, but
You make whatever you're doing sound so exciting.
nah, it's been like a regular, just good week.
You woke up.
No ups, no downs. Just
Mellow.
mellow week, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of mellow,
Yeah.
they say mellow yellow is the worst soda that you can drink. I just thought I'd throw it.
Mellow Yellow?
Mellow
I know-
yellow.
That used to be
I know
so
Carmelo is one of the worst basketball players you can pick for
That's
fantasy.
so not nice.
For fantasy, not in real life, but he ain't good in real life.
Okay. Just want to throw that out.
But it is. I think the yellow 5 that they have in it is not good for you.
Nah, I've never, nothing about that has ever
I thought
been.
Yellow 5 was pork that they cooked like
I don't know.
Doritos
That's
in.
why I didn't
I
say
am
anything. I
not
have
sure.
no idea.
I think that's red dye 5. I might.
I don't know. I thought
That's the pork. That,
Yellow Dot 5 or whatever.
I don't know.
It's red.
I'd have to Google it.
Okay, because we are talking very miscellaneously right now.
But we hadn't seen each other in a while. So
We haven't.
We're just
catching
shooting
up.
the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say a different word, but
I know.
okay.
I
Shooting
know.
what? Oh, yeah.
So I said bleep.
Okay.
Shooting the bleep.
Yes.
Well, we can go ahead and get us into our topic.
All right, let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, we at Relationship Status Podcast, we want our listeners to know this. We are rooting for relationships. We want healthy relationships to work. So, it's not often that we want to talk about the negative aspects of relationships, but sometimes we have to because some of you are dealing with these issues. So, today's topic is we're talking about, guys, when is it time to leave? How would a person know when it's time to be out of the relationship?
When a person becomes draining,
Yeah.
Okay.
it's like, oh, God, I talked to her again. Yes, I'm chilling. yes, I'm chilling again. Yes.
How does it even get to that? So when a person becomes draining or when a person feels like their energy is just like expelled on this person, how does it even get to that?
Because you're not telling people, like, you're not telling the truth about what you want.
Okay.
You're pretending like things cool.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, you might know his mixtape not going to ever sell. Just don't listen. It's cool if you want to work on something, but it's not going to work.
I think it gets like that when you bring your representative instead of your real self. So now this person has an expectation of you and you can't fulfill it anymore.
How long are you talking, Nique? Because representatives usually run out max 6 months. If you can hold 6 months, you're
If you can hold 6 months,
he's
you
a
can make it.
psychopath. He's a psychopath. No, he's a psychopath.
Oh, I was getting ready to
You know,
say that's not good. Because in 6 months,
if a representative lasts 6 months, yes, it may be Ted Bundy. You might have somebody on your hands that you don't want to deal with.
Wow.
So a representative shouldn't get you in that much trouble in 3-4 months.
But I mean, if you're used to a person telling you where they're going, or what they're doing, or you're used to them just giving you a schedule and you're asking them like, hey, what you doing? How's your day? And at first they were like, oh yeah, my day is XYZ was good. It was this, I did XYZ. I did this. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, I don't feel like answering this phone.
I don't.
All you're going to do is ask me what I'm doing today. All you're gonna do is ask me.
Maybe he's just boring.
Maybe, but
Yeah, that's it.
he gave the illusion that he was fun.
Yeah. But to get to a point where you're in a relationship and you feel like when you look at this person and when you think about this person to feel drained, I wouldn't hope this, but I would think that it would be something more than just like, oh, they get on my nerves. Because, sometimes even in a relationship, you can have a season where a person kind of annoys you a little bit. Mm-hmm. But drained,
Drained, yeah, when they take, when they've withdrew more than they deposited.
Yeah,
that's when it becomes
powerful.
draining.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What does that look like in a relationship where a person is, getting and not pouring? Like, what are some examples of them?
For most men, one area is financially. She always wants to go on a date.
Okay.
When all she has to do is show up. Mm-hmm. I would always want to go on a date. I love dates. I don't, man.
Yeah.
Only get 4 of those a year, but I mean, I don't know. It's almost like two things.
Okay.
I don't have it, and I don't want to spend it on you. And women don't always understand that.
Okay.
So financially, off top, it may be, if for our Florence listeners, off back.
You gotta give it to him.
I haven't said that in
okay.
so long.
And
gotta use
I've
that-
never heard that before until Nick said it.
Yes.
You gotta use that Florence vernacular.
Yes. So off back, you don't want to set these two precedents with women. Like, I don't want to spend time with you, nor do I want to spend money on you.
Wow.
Yeah. So that can just.
I can definitely see how a woman who, is draining her man's pockets. Yeah, that can be draining to a man.
But it could just be draining. You always want to go.
Okay.
So now if you live in a small city, how many places you gonna go?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But today I want to take you to the Sonic.
Okay.
You're not feeling the Sonic.
It could be with time as well.
Oh yeah, time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time.
Because he may want to go out with his friends somewhere, and she's like, "Why you want to go there? I want to go."
Yeah, those things can be. Well,
I
yeah.
agree.
the demands becomes
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
draining.
Especially when there's lack of balance, and balance for one couple doesn't have to look like balance for this couple. 'Cause
No.
this couple, it could be 60-40 in terms of time. Like another couple, they might be good with 90-10 if that works for them, right? A lot of people it doesn't. It doesn't. But I'm just saying, as long as they do what works for them. But when your balance is off and you're not talking about it, that's when a person starts to feel drained. When they're like, okay, he wants this, so I'm gonna go ahead and give him this. But draining could be anything. It could even be sex.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Like if a person constantly wants sex all the time, and like the other person might not necessarily be as into it that much, and you constantly want it, and that's the main thing that you want. That could be draining too.
Yeah, that can be. That can be very draining.
So the good stuff can be draining.
Okay, you said the good stuff could be draining.
good stuff could be draining
Too much of it.
Too much of it, And
like,
too much for one person is different from another person.
I enjoy sex with you, but every day.
Well, I will say this in a woman's defense. A woman is more likely to want to have sex with you if the other parts are being fulfilled.
Absolutely.
So that's really not, she don't want to have sex with you. But if you're doing the other stuff, the sex, you're not going to have to ask for sex. You're not going to have to do anything to get sex.
That is very true.
You're probably going to tell her, I'm good to
And so the draining comes when, he wants all of that all the time.
and he
isn't
don't do
willing to
nothing.
right.
Yeah, he don't
right.
want to do anything.
So that's
He's not
draining.
meeting her halfway.
But like you going, like a little, take a step back from what you said earlier about men and women in time. Oh, I'm taking the women's side again. If
Welcome.
the man who maybe doesn't have the time explains what's going on and doesn't leave her to wonder, because when a woman start wondering, she's like a 2-year-old walking down 95. She just like what?
Yeah, when you leave.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, like
I'm trying to work on
you
it.
don't want her to just start wondering
Right.
aimlessly.
Right.
So part of that's communication.
Yes.
And it's not 90-10 so much if you explain what's going on.
Absolutely.
So the balance comes with understanding.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That communication on the front end and
On the
not
front
waiting
end.
until things blow up and then you explain on the back end.
Oh, like
Yeah, because I
Conversation
can't understand it at that
prior.
point.
Yeah.
weeks prior.
Yeah.
Or you talk to me at 12 o'clock. You could have told me this early.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what it
you
is.
disappeared from 6 to 9, and now you're explaining to me why you disappeared. No, I can't.
Yeah.
No, my mind is already gone to you was with someone else.
That's not the only thing, Nique. But
It goes straight to that. Like you made time for someone else from 6 to 9.
it don't even have to be someone else. It can be something.
It could be like on one of our previous episodes, Nique, you talked about object cheating.
Oh yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
discuss the different types of cheating that wasn't necessarily physical with the
you
person.
with your friends,
Yes.
watch
or
at
video
a bar.
games or whatever your thing is.
Yeah, whatever-
Even if it's
whatever.
working on cars like all day, the whole weekend, you got 3 days off and you work on cars the whole time.
Women require time.
Especially if it made you late
Yeah.
to something that you're doing with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Late. He didn't even show up. or he doesn't want to go now.
Yeah, like I'm tired.
Oh,
we
yeah,
really
that's
have to
what I was about
go.
to say.
Like, are you serious? You mean to tell me that you went and did all of this with so and so, but you now don't feel like going somewhere with me and spending time with me? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Bet.
That was a good reenactment. Isn't it?
That was good.
Yeah, I felt it.
Yeah, okay.
It came from her soul.
Yeah, that happened.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
All right.
I mean,
What's another one? That was a good one. Sia.
When you're trying too hard.
All right, let's talk about it. When
okay,
you're
who's trying too hard?
A lot of the time, most of the time,
Okay, let's start with one or the other, men or women.
Yeah.
I would say women.
Okay, when women are trying too hard.
Yeah, when women are trying too hard, it does start to get draining. But at that point, when you feel like you're putting too much into making the relationship work, it's time to let it go. You need to step back and reevaluate what you really want out of this relationship, what you're really getting out of this relationship. Because at this point, you're kind of forcing somebody, trying to force someone to be in this relationship with you.
So that's what trying too hard is?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was something else.
Oh,
What do you thought it was?
I can see how it can be taken a different way. I didn't know that's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
But that's a good point. Like, because I like to talk about like moments of clarity and learning on the show. And I like that we learn from each other. And I've learned so much just from, talking with you guys and listening to your perspectives. And one of the things that, CL, I think you said that ever since you've said it, it has stuck with me and I actually apply it now. But when people say it just didn't work out and you're like, no, like you have to assign responsibilities to people. People make things work.
That's right.
And so to your point, Nique, you're saying that when one person is doing a lot of the heavy lifting, the work part of the relationship by him or herself, then yeah, if you look like I'm doing most of the work here, a lot of the work, especially the heavy lifting, relationships are fun, but they also require work. And if both
Definitely.
people aren't working and one person is working way more than the other, then yeah.
Because you can be in a relationship with a man and you're planning all the dates. You're, we're going to go on a date at this time. And he's just like, okay, I show up. Or you're planning the date nights, the time spent together and all of that. And he's just in the relationship.
Shouldn't that be an early out anyway? If
What's
if she's saying if you're the one doing all the planning of the dates and this, that, and the third, if that's something that's been from the start, shouldn't that be an early out?
A lot of times it's not from the start. A lot of times it's something that just kind of fell off. Like you can be in a relationship with a guy especially if you're with someone for a very long time. And now it's just, y'all are just going with the flow. And you're starting to see that y'all don't go out as much. So you start planning dates. You start saying, oh, let's go here. Let's do this together. You start creating evenings and things of that nature because you see that it's missing.
Okay, I have a question now. Because I don't understand what's so hard about planning.
Yeah.
What if you're paying for them? Isn't that equal? If you're planning, I'm paying?
You don't.
Like
Sometimes you want to be.
Listen.
You want to.
If you're gonna
get
pay,
a phone call
I
and
can
say,
plan a
"Hey,
date."
be ready at 8."
Well, that's more about spontaneity, isn't it? Or saying that I want you. You planning a date, and I'm paying for it. A lot of men think we're both.
that's
it's
your
equal. It's
contribution
a balance.
to it.
That's my contribution.
And I guess that would be like that couple needs to, if you're dating a woman and you know that that's something that is important to her, like if she says to you, I want you to plan some of the dates, then you know that about her.
That's right.
You
That's
know?
right.
But
Or-
you're going to have some women that don't mind. Like, he plans all the dates, or I plan them all because his plans suck.
Yes.
If I wait on him,
That
it'll be
happens.
boring. You know,
That does happen.
Or his plans suck, or you always find something wrong with his plans.
or
Yeah.
that.
Yes. While I'm eating there.
Yeah.
Well, we ate there last time. That was last time. Like, oh, wow.
But that work part, like if one person is or feels like he or she is always the one to, you know, like sit down to initiate the conversation so that we can work on the problems. Like the other person isn't. Like that can feel like a little one-sided, you know, that person doing all the work there, or financially, you know, if one person feels like, hey, I'm always the person that when problems arise, being the problem solver of the financial issues, that can definitely feel like, are we in this together or what?
Definitely feels like work.
Yeah.
But I definitely understand when it comes to being the problem, because you can be the person that's always saying, we have this problem. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And that person can turn around and say, why do you always want to talk about our problems? So like,
we never got on
Because they're not
they're not resolved. That's kind of why.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it. And then they turn around and shut down. Like, a lot can be wrong with that.
And then I can imagine couples that have children, you know, I don't have any children, but like if it feels like one person is doing most of the parenting and the other person is not, that definitely.
That could seem.
Yeah.
That's draining.
But
Okay.
What?
that is draining. Okay. But sometimes I'm not sure if I think it's sometimes about perception within the couple dynamic,
Okay.
because sometimes the one person might feel like they're doing enough as a parent, and then like we always say, the basis of all of problems within a relationship somehow come back to communication.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So the perception, let's say the mom is like, yo, I'm always changing the diaper. But the dad is like, shoot, you get to the diapers first. So
That's the comeback.
no, I'm not. No. I'm saying that,
hoping it wasn't you.
Let it do this.
no. Let me finish.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, like, if you may feel like you change all the diapers, but when the kid's with me, I don't have to change. I might not have to change the diaper because it might never be dirty. You know what I'm saying? So to the mom, it'll feel like I feel like I'm always doing this, but she never relays that information, and vice versa. It can happen vice versa. So then the one parent ends up saying, well, I'm doing everything and this person ain't doing anything, when they may just very well do more if they're just spoken to. Like, hey, I need you to pick up a little bit more of the responsibility when it comes to the baby or when it comes to the kids. And a lot of times, I won't say a lot of times, from my experience, sometimes it's not relayed that there's an issue with the balance in the parenting duties.
So it goes
I
back to
can see that.
communication.
Yeah.
And I think
So
it's
a person can feel for a while like, dang, I do all the work, and they never say anything. And that
so
frustration just builds.
Yeah.
It builds, and then the person on the other side is like, well,
Well, shouldn't you say something? Always say something early.
Always.
You should
especially with
A
children.
lot of times people don't, though.
But why?
I just think people hold on.
Yeah.
I sometimes feel like people just like being mad. Sometimes
You think some people want to
Just-
one up all the time?
They always just want to have that. Well, I did,
Especially
I was
with a
able to do-
mom. Yeah, big
What?
time. Because like a mom gets up in the middle. Most moms get up in the middle of the night and feed the child whenever they're crying in the middle of the night. Most moms are the one that are complaining about staying up all night with a newborn baby.
Well, it's not the actual act.
Yeah,
It's the problem that somebody's doing more than the other.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is most moms are doing it because they're not telling a father like, I need help with this.
and they start counting.
Could you get up this time, or could this be your night to get up with the baby when?
Or why wouldn't
the
you
baby
just
wake up?
alternate? It's really.
But a lot don't.
I said, why wouldn't you?
Oh, okay.
I just to your point, in my experience, there was never, hey, it wasn't a conversation on it. Does that I don't it's not right.
No, I think
You just
that's
never seen
It's
it as a
not
bother.
right. It's just never saw it as
An issue.
yeah.
And I think that, and if I'm wrong, correct me, I think that sometimes fathers think that there's certain duties that automatically should be assigned to the mom.
I was going to say that
No,
too.
but
I
not
didn't
in a
think
bad
that.
way.
No,
not in a bad
sexist
way.
way at all.
No, me personally, I never felt like that.
Okay.
But if baby cries and we both get up at the same time and you say, I got it, I'm
gonna lay back
down. Like if you got it, if you say you got it, now if you don't have it, I had the last 5. Can you get this one?
I thought she was telling
I get
the
up
truth.
and get the one. Here's the thing.
But isn't a man supposed to know that?
Yeah, I think.
Unfortunately, it's not fair.
Unfortunately,
a man's supposed to know that.
Yeah. And
I'll say in some cases, because when I first had my daughter, I breastfed. So getting up to, there was no bottle to make. I was her bottle.
Well, we weren't talking about.
But no, but I'm saying to him, he wasn't going to get up because he knew what I was going to go do. I was going to go get her. And
Can't you put the breast milk in a bottle?
Yeah.
But both of my children were just where they didn't do bottles like that.
Straight from the breast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
okay.
All right.
I got you.
And I get that, like that, obviously, because in that case, only your nipples matter. Okay,
Yeah.
in that case.
Only
So
your nipples.
His nipples are useless, right?
Wow.
So I can see why, like, sometimes automatically the father is just like, oh, okay, you know, you're going to get up, the baby's crying, you're automatically, they don't feel like it's going to be their responsibility, not because they don't want to, but they just feel like, okay, well, you got the milk.
Yeah, but we're focusing on the baby. We're not talking about babies. We're just talking about
the
parenting.
whatever the issue is.
Whatever the issue is.
Between the two people.
Yeah.
A man has to have enough discernment to know. And a lot of times, it's like a man has to use his sixth sense because women expect you to know. You have to look at her and be able to say, she's tired.
Yeah, like everything
Yeah.
shouldn't be told to you.
No, it shouldn't. Now,
Everything shouldn't be told.
Not for a woman, no.
No, I agree.
The more they have to tell you, the worse you are.
I agree, but in the moment, you go,
No, you don't.
no. You go, I got it, and I go,
No.
you sure?
You gotta-
because I can get it. Nope, I got it. You good? Go back to seat.
That's the problem. Don't ask. Just do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you
Don't ask.
ask me, do you need?
Because
I got it.
you're saying like I'm gonna give you another chance to say,
Yeah, and I will say this about women.
yeah. You have to just
When-
know.
That's one of those things when they say, I got it. That usually, unless it's like, oh, no, baby, I got it.
that-
No. It's usually a
Was it a
nice.
genuine?
No, it was
Like,
usually
okay.
a nice. I very rarely and the
You know,
times in which
but you know why it's like that?
Okay.
Because when you ask and they're like, "No, I got it," it's because they don't want you to bring it up the next time that you get up and you say, "Oh no, I got." They want you to get up.
no.
They want you because once you ask,
But I
it's
didn't
like
ask.
you don't. Okay.
No, that's what I'm saying. I didn't ask.
You
Like,
didn't
I
ask.
got up and as you were on your way.
I got up
So that
to
was-
do
that was-
whatever.
that
and it's
was
like,
like
I
your
got
genuine
it.
one.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like that's
That was like
usually
your
what it would be. I got it.
You still have to know.
You know, and that's the thing. I should have said no. You go ahead, lay
Yeah.
down.
You're going to
I'll
be
go do it.
charged with the crime.
Yeah,
Whether you know.
no matter what.
You have to know.
No
Just
matter
don't
what.
want. Just don't want us. Well, not
No-
us.
no matter
you don't
what.
want you to throw it in our face. Like, well, I got up the last time.
How is somebody
No,
throwing in your
I
face if they
did,
mention it?
People do that.
Nah, I wouldn't.
I just think you have
I
to
know those things. Those
Those are the
I agree with
unwritten
you, CM.
things you have to
You
know.
just have to know.
And that's why I say it's so hard to be in a relationship with multiple people.
Yeah.
Because these are things you have to know.
And,
Yeah.
and if you
You
gotta
gotta apply them to all.
and if
Oh, you can't
But if
do
you have
it.
to know everybody,
You can't
there's
do it.
no way to
No,
know
it's not. It's
every
not.
single.
You won't ever know the one woman you have.
Right, right.
So somebody's
Not
going to be
completely.
lacking. No, you will never know. the woman.
completely.
Never. Completely? You will never know. Ever. If I ain't never told you nothing that was truthful before, you will never know the woman you with. Sometimes we don't even know ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Find out
forever
stuff.
evolving and growing. And yeah, you're right.
Like, you know what? I like this the whole time. I didn't even know it. I thought I disliked it. So you have to know, and women expect you to know because they're going to charge you with knowing.
Yeah.
So
I have to agree with that.
stop asking.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
Don't just no. You're not. No. I got it.
Just do it. Yeah.
just do it.
Just do it.
Yep.
All right. So mine would be when it's time to leave is when you have lost who you are in the relationship. So you're this person, right?
Okay.
This amazing person.
Amazing.
right? And you have these qualities in yourself that you really like, that you're proud of. Maybe you are fun and you're positive and
Outgoing.
all these things. They're at the core of who you are. And then you're in a relationship, and as time grows, you become less and less and less of who you were, that you were really proud of being. So it could be that you're in a relationship with someone that, you bring this fun loving, this laughter, and this person, for whatever reason, doesn't really appreciate that. And so now you feel like you have to tiptoe and not, be your crazy, silly self, okay, around that person. You don't have the freedom.
Are you telling me a woman's funny?
Oh my God.
I'm giving an example.
Oh, okay.
But yes, women can be funny. Humor is not
limited, but yes, limited.
Now
funny.
that y'all have said
Go
some
ahead.
sexist stuff on this damn show, but that one right there, like really
You think
seriously,
so?
how in the heck is humor now a
Man thing.
A man thing?
It's not
It's not a man thing.
That's what y'all saying.
No,
it's
it's
not
not.
gender
No,
specific.
I'm just saying women not that funny.
Yeah.
Go ahead, continue, please.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't want to strike this, but I just.
So,
I don't
so
argue.
for the record and for the listeners, Sierra and Yusuf in the building, y'all just think women aren't funny.
I will speak for myself.
Go ahead, go ahead,
I
Sam.
don't.
Okay,
I don't think they're that funny.
I don't think they're that funny.
Yeah, there's some
Like
humor.
women think they're way more funnier within the confines of a relationship than maybe they really are. I'm telling you.
wow.
I mean, some of the we laugh.
I've never heard this before.
We
In terms of
laugh.
like humor being,
I'm giving you the insight to a
specific.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, you giving us the insight to all men?
yeah, because
So I
my
can
ex used to
quote
throw
you.
his head back and laugh at stuff I said. So like,
I can quote you.
89.3.
89.3.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what the research says.
wow.
Yeah, I still
So
have a couple
all the
surveys
female
out.
comedians out there, yeah.
Oh no,
They're
The men
female
on the show don't
comedians?
think you're funny.
no. I'm gonna be honest. That's a whole nother subject because I do not find any female comedian funny.
I ain't gonna say it. I'm not saying I've never laughed,
I just don't find them all that funny.
but let's just talk about in the confines of a relationship. I don't think women are super funny. Women think they're way more funny, and they're like, "That's not funny."
For the record, I did
Just
say like
wait till I
fun
post
loving,
that.
Okay?
Oh,
Yeah.
fun loving. Okay, fun loving is
like you
different than funny.
Yeah.
Fun loving is
women are
different
fun
than-
limited.
Yeah.
fun loving.
Fun limited.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that fun limited
Yeah.
supports what you said.
No. Fun loving.
Okay.
I can go with that.
But whatever the thing is, like that you bring, that you were proud of before you were in this relationship, and for some reason over time you just feel like, you know what, I can't be that person anymore, or I have to suppress this about me. I think it's time to have the conversation about exiting stage left.
And you
When you
think
have
it's the
the
man's fault?
I'm not saying it's the man's fault.
But he
if
gotta
you're
go 'cause
with
you ain't gonna
someone-
go.
No, you go. He doesn't have to go.
Okay.
But if you're with someone, if you have connected with someone and being with that person makes you less of who you were, then it's time for you to exit stage left. And I'm not necessarily saying that something is wrong with the man. Maybe you chose the wrong man.
Yeah.
Because the person that you're with is going to compliment you, all the good things about you. It shouldn't make the good things about you feel like you have to suppress them and hide them.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to water yourself
Well,
down.
On that, I just think the loss of identity within a relationship is man or woman
I
Yeah.
agree.
is a reason to.
How does
just-
that happen though?
I think people just take on the identity of the adjectives behind their names change. No. Think about it. You go from being a single individual and going, hey, my name is Yusuf, to that's this person's husband. And that starts kind of the shift of, oh, that's what's his name's husband. That's what's his name's husband. And for some people who are in weaker roles, like, or somehow are the weaker mentally, they start to lose their identity that is themselves within the confines of the marriage or the relationship. The things like I've seen, for example, people who don't smoke weed.
Yes.
Now all of a sudden they get with somebody who smokes and now they smoke weed.
Somebody went.
People who don't
ahead.
drink, people who don't drink, now all of a sudden you drink. Or, you're not a person that goes out to clubs and now you're
You're a
going
clubber.
out to clubs. Now you're clubbing. So I just think people end up losing their identity or parts of who they are that hold them together. And then by the time they wake up, it's years or however long later, and they're looking at it going, how did I get here?
Yeah.
Like, how
They're
did I get
fragments
here?
of who they used to be
Yeah.
when who you were was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, and who you
know?
were, the reason why this person fell in love with you, or grew in love with you, the reason why was because of who you were.
And you lost
And a
that.
part of that is you. So when it comes to that, it's not that person's. I don't think it's the other person's responsibility to acknowledge that you're losing your identity.
Right.
I think they should encourage you to be you.
To be you.
Like if you like to travel, and I don't, well, guess what we about to do? We about to do a little bit of traveling, or we gonna meet in the middle. maybe we travel not as much as you would like to, but we do have to do some because I don't want you to lose who you necessarily are.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of people don't, within relationships, within the confine of relationships, those that end up losing their identity don't speak up for themselves and say, hey, I'm going to go do this. I would like to do this, or I would like to do that, because they feel as though they're trying to, sometimes they just want to be with the person that bad that they're willing we're not
to change who they are.
Yeah, we're not spending all our time together because he goes to smoke with his homeboy. So
you're gonna start smoking.
I'm gonna go smoke with him, or have him. I'm gonna smoke at the house. So not a homeboy.
He can feel like.
So he can feel like.
Yeah.
He tries to. You try to include yourself in the person's life.
Yeah.
Right.
I've said this before, and a lot of women came at me. I posted this, I want to say, at the beginning of the year. Most women start smoking marijuana because of a boyfriend they've had. Like I'm gonna say this, I don't know any woman that smokes just because that's something she grew up doing, friends did, or anything like that. All of it was she was introduced to it by a guy that she was dealing with or involved with.
Now I would say,
I wouldn't know, but I
would say this. Very rarely do I agree with Miss Nique Cruz.
Okay.
But on this one, I do. I see it a lot in the school.
So y'all have I
see it a lot in the school system.
I have very limited knowledge of the marijuana culture.
Well, I mean, I just see it a lot in the school system. Now, it might be wrong because I do have people that I know that that's what they do. They was doing that long before they met anybody. So I'm not saying that it's just confined to that, but I will say that it is a thing.
Yeah.
It is something that does happen. So
what are y'all saying does happen? If a man smokes, it's more likely for a woman to smoke?
No, just those people that are within, those people that are desperate, I would say, to be a part of a person's life, like all parts of their life.
Yeah.
Like, this is how we can spend time.
Yeah.
They're willing to do it. And I'm not limiting it just to smoking.
It could be a lot of things.
I just think it's just anything that they just want to get. Like if he's into cars, she'll get into cars.
Well, that's
a positive thing. But I think when you change,
that's what I'm saying. You changing who
you start to change who you are, because you start to become, and it happens mostly in women. A lot of times as women, and I can't say I have myself, but I have noticed some women will lose who they were and become their boyfriends.
So that's the thing, like losing who you are, that to me is when it's time to go. But when you're in a relationship and maybe he can introduce you to some things where now you're growing another interest, I think that could be a positive
But it's not about them growing interest in something, it becomes them being what their boyfriend likes.
I get that. But like if we're in a relationship, all right, this is me and Bobby, right? Me and Bobby in a relationship.
You and Bobby Bottle.
Bobby the
If he into cars.
Right.
Bobby the Bottle.
Now, if Bobby is into cars and while we're together, I start to have an interest in cars, there's nothing wrong with that. But if I trade what I like for the interest in cars,
that's the point.
So that I can, then I think it's
start losing.
That's the point I'm making.
You start losing your friends.
Start losing yourself, exactly.
And now, his friends, you think his friends are your friends, and you no longer communicate with your friends or go out with your friends. You're sitting in the house while he's out with his friends.
Time to reevaluate. So let me ask y'all this question.
What man lets you do that?
Some men do, because it's not to them. It's not their
men. Maybe insecure men.
Well, I'm gonna have you calling my friends.
Oh no!
No.
I think she's like hanging around your friends.
Yeah,
not,
like
what you look like hanging around my friends?
Just hanging around my friends.
Like wanting to come around you. With you.
I feel you. Why would you want?
How
that?
you gonna hang out with me with my friends?
With
now your homeboy's like, hey sis.
Don't trust that hey sis shit.
Hey sis. Yeah. Hey sis is the new big bro.
I'm telling you. That's my homie. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but a lot of guys do that. Even like I think I was in a relationship once, and his friend was like,
you gotta remember?
Because I wanted to make sure I called it the correct thing.
I think I was in a relationship once.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna call it a situationship. That was what I was gonna call it. But one of his friends, to this day still, he was like, hey sis, you're not my brother. You're his friend, not mine.
Nique.
Oh God.
When men hang out with their friends, if it's not a couples thing, They're trying to get around you so they can just do stuff they want to do.
That's what I would think.
Yeah.
And they want to be dumb and talk about like.
I agree though.
But there's some young guys,
Well, yeah, because-
young guys that be like, come over
Come on.
come over to the apartment. And
To
he and
do
his friends,
what?
this is young people.
They like to
He and
show
young
off.
boys.
This is young people.
Young people, and I just know because like my cousins and some of the guys they're dating, like, yeah, I'm at the apartment playing cards with the fellas. Come on over.
Oh
And
no.
they have yeah, that's a young thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe.
Now,
Okay.
I have been in a room while the guys are playing.
Now you said no.
2K.
Now you saying you.
No, because they came while I was already there.
That's the sign for you to exit.
No, he'd be like,
Yeah.
nah, you stay.
No, you got
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So, to, a personal experience.
Before
Okay.
you tell me that, if I'm a man and I'm seeing a girl
yeah.
and her friends come over and they want to watch Lifetime or read a book or something,
Please leave.
why would I stay there?
I'm leaving.
Please leave.
Why would I?
You wouldn't even have to
I don't know.
ask me.
But why do a woman think like? Nobody wants
And in addition to saying to you, please leave, to the women out there who like, no, I want him to stay so I can go in.
let him
He let
go.
him lay in the room and during the
No.
commercial break, I go in there and
No.
get me a smooch. I mean,
No,
that.
no.
Leave, brother.
To each his own.
Yeah, just
But-
go.
but some I feel like, nah, why he in the room? He can stay.
Well, I think no.
Me personally,
but
when
that's
I
a
with my
part of.
girls, I won't like that's girl time.
Well, first of all, I'm not going to invite my girls
And I-
over while my man is there anyway. So
See, but I agree with that. T is like that's a part of keeping your identity.
Mm-hmm.
Like your group of friends is your that's your space. That's
Yeah.
your time.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're coming over to watch something or whatever, shoot, okay, I'll holler at you later.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Because they gonna blame you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you
The
trying to be
friends-
all funny? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
okay.
Yeah.
Now, Fessy,
Just keeping along with the lines of this, I just want to share this with you guys, and you tell me what your thoughts on it.
okay.
I was dating this guy, and felt like it was going in a good direction. And one day, he said we need to talk about something, and I thought things were great.
Oh
right?
Lord. Oh
And he
Lord.
was like,
We
we
need
need
to
to talk
talk.
about something. Yeah, that whole thing, right? But women, that doesn't bother women too much. That whole we need to talk.
Oh, men.
That
Why
bothers-
it
oh, I
don't?
know.
Men,
That
no,
bothers me.
listen.
Yeah.
What we need to talk about, I need to know right
Part of me was
now.
like, oh wow, he's gonna talk about something serious, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
didn't see this coming
Yes.
up.
Yes.
So, for people who know me, they know that for many, many years, since middle school, right, I have really enjoyed, and I do public speaking.
Okay.
Like, at assemblies, I would even travel to other schools since I was a teenager. So all throughout college, that's just what I do. I love it. So, I was doing this, and he was coming to the different events, and I'm thinking he's coming as
With you?
I'm thinking he's coming as a support. Because this is in my adulthood. So, yeah, I expected him to be there if I'm going and I'm traveling and I'm
Absolutely.
have to be the speaker at this event or this women's conference. And so, sat me down at dinner and was like, so, you're a phenomenal speaker. And I can listen to you speak. It started off that way, complimenting me first,
Okay.
right?
Set up.
He said, but I'm a private person. And sometimes your transparency, when you talk about your experience, makes me really uncomfortable because I feel like you're sharing things with strangers that don't need to know things about you. And for example, like part of the speaking that I was doing was a part of a series that talked about, like, I don't know, you guys have heard this before, like, I don't look like what I've been through. I don't smell like the ashes or whatever. So this whole series
I
on
don't
just
smell like the ashes.
yeah, like when you've gone through the fire, it's a metaphor. You've gone through the fire.
I mean, I know.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I never heard of it before.
Okay. So it was a series on that, how you can go through things. Like I shared my story with you guys about, my father. I had lost a child. So just talking about how you pick up the pieces, right? And his thing was like, people don't need to know that about you. People don't need to know that about you. Like, that's your personal business. Can't you find a way? Or instead of speaking in first person, can't you say things like, I know a woman who, or this happened to someone
Red
I know.
flag.
And I was like really disturbed by that,
But why would he?
I would. I would.
Well, first off, he was at a women's conference.
That is first thing.
yeah, red flag.
That's the first thing.
Red flag.
Let's start there. And then the fact that to go and watch you in your element at your profession and set you up by saying, first off, you're a really good speaker.
And degrade you after.
And then turn around and say that he has an issue
It's a strong word, Nique. Degrade.
I don't think he was degrading, but to turn around and then criticize how you do your job and something that is not his truth or his business. It's not his. It was nothing related to him.
I felt like he was degrading you for speaking your truth. Like,
And
how dare you tell
he tried
anybody?
To say that it came from a place of, if I'm to be your protector, right? I need to be able to also protect your emotions. And I just feel like after a while, just getting out there and being vulnerable all the time, it takes so much out of you, and which it didn't, because it was in my strength that I did it, you know. But I think it was more about the fact that he started with, I'm a private person.
Okay.
Right?
It had nothing to do with you.
He was a private person, and so because he didn't want people to know his business, which I get, or his past, that's fine. I think he looked at me as, if I'm going to be with her, then I'm going to constantly be with somebody that doesn't mind sharing parts about her life that I wouldn't want anybody to know. Because like I would talk about poverty and coming up and, just my truth. So he was very uncomfortable with it and asked that I change my speeches so that it wouldn't be in first person.
And then did you tell him you will change your phone number? You can never call. You don't have to worry about calling me back.
It was the last conversation that we had.
Yeah,
So last conversation.
Okay.
well, I think that it needed to be.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean,
It wasn't nasty or anything, but I just
He was trying to change her. He was trying to change all of who she was.
I wouldn't say.
Was he?
No, I don't think he was trying to change her.
He was trying to change who she was, because she's giving her speech about her life, things she wants to share, things she experienced that can help other people that experienced it. And he's telling her, no, you don't need to tell nobody that. Change it.
I thought he kind of asked you to tone it down.
He did. So that's why I wanted to bring it to you guys to hear your thoughts, because I know, like,
Okay, my thoughts is, it's more than fair for him to ask that.
Okay.
But it's also more than fair to tell him your truth and what you need. Now, couldn't he just get out of the limelight? He could still support you, but other than, your immediate friends may know who, whatever, but these strangers in the room don't have to know he's
Exactly.
with you. So he could be
more
low key into your finish, and then y'all go back to the room or hit the city or
but
whatever.
he didn't see it
together.
like that, because he knew he was
He
just
wanted
like,
to be you?
Well, I don't think it was that.
He wanted to be the
but
star?
He
He's the
knew that,
star.
like,
Tell me
if
he's not the
I
star.
kept on this path long enough, or like one day she could really blow up.
Yes.
I see.
Okay.
He was the only man in the room.
He was the only
No.
They know why he was there.
No.
Oh,
They know why he was there. That's why that man felt.
But
He wanted you to
but
be-
you still could be low key.
Yeah. Just
So he wanted to stop the shine before it became too much for him.
see.
Yes,
that's the real problem.
Because his thing was like, people are gonna know that my girl. Like,
Okay, so that's the real problem.
You
It's
know.
not an issue of you.
Yeah, people are gonna
of
know that
sharing.
my girl
Yeah.
experienced this, and
Oh.
yeah.
But I don't know. But I don't think that's. You say it's fair for him to ask that.
It's fair if it's something bothering him. It's fair for him to ask. It
But
don't mean
I
she
don't-
got to say agree.
No, well, I think for probably one of the few times I disagree with that,
Okay,
because I feel like
Wow.
Hold a second.
I can't.
But what do you disagree with? It being fair?
I disagree with the fact that you're saying it's
Nique,
fair for
don't
him.
hype him up.
No,
So
go ahead.
no.
Go ahead, speak.
I think that it's not fair for him to ask that question because it wasn't anything that involved him.
Exactly.
Like, none of it involved him.
First,
Yes, amen, corner. Thank you.
First, it involved him because he's a part of her life.
But it doesn't.
It absolutely does.
How?
Ask her to
Yusuf, listen. We have freedom of speech, so we should watch what we say. It's fair to ask something of people, but she has the right to say no.
No, I agree with the right to say no, but I just don't think it's fair to say it's fair
If it's
for him
something,
to ask her.
if it's something that bothers him, it's fair for him to ask, so they can start the communication, so they can straighten this out. And
Why does
straighten
it
out,
bother him though?
I don't know. Maybe it's something that happened in his childhood. I don't know.
That might be that. I think that part of it is irrelevant.
Maybe he has trauma. I don't know.
But whatever it is,
maybe he don't think women should outshine men. I don't know.
Did he know this before getting involved with you that you did
it
this?
was fine when we talked about it personally, but it's when I'm sharing it with other people and he's looking around, he's like, because I'm watching who's judging.
Oh yeah.
And not only that, but like, I don't want to be in this, because he's private. He's like, I don't want nobody coming up to me like, oh, I'm so sorry that your girl endured that. He was like, I don't want to be put in a situation where now I am going to be known as the guy that's dating someone who has these experiences, and now them knowing about you makes me feel like they know about me. That was how he broke it down. My biggest issue was it was okay for him to express his discomfort with it, but for him to ask me to change it.
Well, see, that's where he was wrong.
That's what he.
Well, okay. Like. Well then, okay.
But
okay.
ask. All I ever said was ask. It's okay for him to express that. I have a problem with this.
Okay. Well, then I agree there.
Okay.
I didn't agree with him asking her to not do it.
Well, no, he can't ask her to not
express.
do it.
No. That's what I thought was. That's what I said was not fair. Now he could express it. I agree with you there. Yeah. Expressing how he felt about it might be a thing. So yeah, then I retract my previous statement.
Okay.
But I would say it was fair for him to say how he felt. But
you should. It's your feelings.
But to ask her to not do it, no,
that's a whole
to
different
change
issue.
it. No,
that's not even.
That's why I asked, did he know about these speeches before?
Yeah.
And then now he has a problem because he's involved.
Well, first and foremost, Nique, people are allowed to change. I don't know. I don't know why people pick the subject people can change in, but people, especially women,
I mean, yeah, I agree.
Agree with things up front.
Yeah,
that they're not cool with long term. Like these multiple people in relationships.
Yeah.
Like, we're cool with that. And then later it was like, well, why we got to keep doing that? So we can't fault him for changing. He's wrong for telling you to stop.
Yeah.
That's not his place.
And his change came in the moment, like him being in the environment and seeing, because sometimes it would get emotional.
Oh, it's jealousy.
You know? That's what you think it was. And I never thought about that.
That's definitely
I thought about that when you first started saying it.
Yeah, some men are jealous of their significant others.
They jealous of men too. They jealous of everybody. They hate us.
Yeah. Hate comes from within.
Yeah, within.
And if you blow up, now you're bigger than him.
Oh.
Yeah, and then
I'm about to blow up.
Now he got to deal with certain things that come with you, this level of exposure.
And that could have been a thing too. He might have seen the way the crowd responded to your stories and could project success forward. It's like, man, I can't just be her sidekick.
Oh.
You
can't
know,
be my Stedman.
Yeah, you can't be your Stedman.
Everybody can't be a Stedman.
Mr. Whitney.
Right.
I don't mind. I don't
Whitney.
mind.
Yeah, that's what he used to call Bobby Brown back in the days. Mr. Whitney.
Bobby was his own.
Bobby had his
Yeah,
own.
Bobby's
No,
own
for a
entity.
while, like his career fell back because of her.
No, it was cocaine.
No, his career fell back because of that
cocaine.
That nose
It was nothing. It was nothing to do with it.
But no, I've heard that for so many years that like people used to call him Mr. Whitney because he used to have to pick her up from the clubs and she was the wild card.
I'd never heard that.
Really?
Never heard none of it.
Even my mom tells me stories.
Well,
Matter of fact, it was in the movies that we watched.
The night she partied with Bobby Brown, it might didn't go that way.
That he wasn't that big of a deal anymore. Like his career kind of just
Bobby was
kind of set back while hers
Bobby was always Bobby.
succeeded.
I don't.
Bobby always been Bobby, boy.
Yeah, I don't know Bobby. Bobby ain't never done that.
Yeah.
No
I mean,
group
but
he was in.
even with the cocaine and all of that, they did the reality show. They did. Everybody
Nique,
did it to see Whitney.
Nique, I know you were younger when they were.
Oh
I didn't know
my
we was
God.
going down Bobby Brown and Whitney.
No, I was just giving the illusion that Whitney was the bigger.
You said it right. Illusion.
Whitney was the bigger star,
I'm not. Nobody's denying that.
Yeah, Whitney was the biggest star.
It's
now.
the biggest star, but
and he sat in the background of that.
Bobby is the bigger personality. Bobby Brown refuses to be a background of anything.
of anybody. To
Really?
anything.
Even when he signs up to be in the background. He don't want to be there.
Yeah.
And if you watch that show,
The show was supposed to be him.
well, if you can't see they was both using drugs on that show, you were,
Ooh, that was something else.
yes, that was bad. That was very bad. But
Oh, I'm sorry.
no, I want you to go ahead.
I was going to ask.
We done with Bobby.
Do we have any more of when it's time to leave?
When is it time to leave?
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
Tell us.
When you feel inferior to the person.
Oh, wow.
When you begin to feel inferior.
Now that is okay. I guess we got to go. We can't go with people no more. We got to go man and woman here.
Yeah. No, we can go people.
Is that harder for a man
To feel inferior?
Is it harder for a man to feel
to
inferior?
deal with it?
To deal with the inferiority?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh, yeah.
Women seem like they can manipulate it and not manipulate, but they can deal with it better.
Yeah, I think a man, because you're talking about the ego now.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
the ego,
And we are
no,
very
that's-
ego driven.
That's going to be a problem. It's a problem for either gender, but especially for a man.
Especially for a man. So can we start with men?
Let's start with men.
Yusuf?
All right, Yusuf. Wait to exhale.
It's just I felt that before,
You have.
and and I left.
Was it out of guilt?
It was time to leave.
I mean, were you really inferior?
No, I wasn't. I didn't feel. I felt inferior then. I didn't realize I wasn't until after I left. When I realized I wasn't, that's when I decided.
So what may have made you feel inferior?
Just the way that she would diminish. The way that she would diminish my life.
What you mean diminish your life?
Like
what does
she
that
would
mean?
devalue. That's the better word.
Okay.
The way that she would devalue the things in my life.
Oh, you needed support from her.
Did I need support? No, not from.
Oh, yes, you did.
Yeah, well, I mean, as any couple,
Yeah, you gotta support each other.
You got to support each other. I believe.
You got to support each other?
I think you should support each other.
You don't think you should support your partner?
I think you support each other, but I
Okay.
think support comes in many ways.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So what you deem as support may not be support.
Okay.
Like support, like when somebody supports you, like coming up I had two different versions of support. My mom would be at a game. My dad didn't go to games.
Okay.
In my mind, so you don't support me? He said, how do you think all this came about?
Right. I got you.
I work to help y'all this, and that. He still should have been to the game. But did we want to catch a ride to the game? Or did we want to drive home? So support is different.
Yeah.
So I don't always think support is rah, 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 stand beside me.
Okay.
No, I wasn't talking about it in that sense.
Well, I'm
It would
trying to
be-
find out what.
Yeah. It would be, let's say, things that I had were not as important as what she had going on, or as important. My life wasn't as important.
Like what? Be more specific. Like your interests.
My
Coaching,
interest,
career?
my career.
What you mean your interest? It's your interest.
Yeah,
It's like Cat Williams says. It's self-esteem. It's self.
yeah, but that's the thing. I think at the time, I believe at the time I didn't have that.
Okay, because I would say
I didn't have. I was so bent at the time on not getting a divorce and not leaving my kids and not putting myself in a situation where my kids had to grow up without
That structure.
without that structure. I had already had 2 other kids prior to, and I didn't want to do it again. And so no matter how much she devalued whatever I had going on, I would just say, I would go with it. I would just be like, all right, well, I don't want to leave. I don't want this to be a thing. So the more things would come up and she would go, well, no, that's not that important. We're not going to do that. We're going to do this. No, you're not going to do that. We're going to.
How
You know
was
what's
she making all these decisions?
I was allowing it.
But I think a lot of men are like that.
Like what?
I knew.
Like,
No, not a lot.
and the reason why I say that is because I do know a few men,
A few. Not all.
because of what I know. But
You haven't done the research. Well, go ahead.
okay, then I won't say a lot.
Okay.
But a few guys that I know that are married are like the exact same thing you're saying is what they're explaining, and one is actually going through a divorce now
Yes,
because of that.
So whatever he feared still didn't work.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
And that's I think that when I got to the point where I was like, and this feeling wasn't the only reason why the marriage ended, but it's when I realized that I was like, yo, like I'm alright, you know what I mean? Like I need to, yeah, I'm a dope ass guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and had a conversation with a friend of mine who said, you can staying in the marriage doesn't mean you're not a father to your kids. Like you can, if you're unhappy, if this is making you feel this way, then then go. Like you'll still be a father to your children. You don't have to be there, because she was verbally abusive and some other stuff. So it was just to that fact. It's like, go ahead and go. And so I decided that it was time to go because I had those feelings. I felt inferior. Like I felt lesser than. And I never felt like I was on the same playing field with her, on the same level as her.
Now,
Yeah.
did that come from her, or you had some pre-existing conditions coming in?
I think my pre-existing condition coming in is I wanted to give my kids the life I didn't have, which was both parents. Being in the same house and them not seeing a divorce and me being there every day. And what I realized after the fact, which I know now, is sometimes it just doesn't look like being a father or being there. It doesn't look like you don't have to be married to do it.
Okay.
It comes off. It's a better situation.
It's better if that's the alternative.
But you can still do it.
Yeah, you can do it.
You can't do it from afar.
But what I learned in that is you can hurt your kids more by staying in an unhappy in an unhappy, toxic marriage. You can hurt them more than just let's just get this divorce going. Let them get accustomed to mom over here, dad over here.
Yep.
You know, blended families and whatever else you got to go through and do. It's better that we deal with it that way. And so that's what made it easy for me to kind of walk away.
Okay.
I mean, my friend, he's just getting to a point where he's walking away. He stayed in it for so long because he says she taught him a lot, and he felt like she was, I will say, like she was better than him. Like he was doing good by marrying her, and
So he married up.
yeah,
That's
he
not a
felt
bad
like
thing.
he felt like he married up. Like he was, like she was better than him.
But she married him too.
Right. Yeah,
So
but
she
he,
wasn't that far up.
but he didn't look at it like that.
He should have.
He said when she came to him, when she came in his life at a point where he was wild, and she helped tame him. He feels like why are you doing this? What's your bank account looking like? What's your credit looking like?
Not tame. That word. Oh my God.
But I mean that's the word he used.
Oh, he used the word.
Because that's the woman. That's the word she gave him.
That's the word he used. It was like she really tamed me. Like she
But you're
calmed
supposed
me
to give
down.
somebody that
Something
teach
that
you something.
Compliments you.
Yeah.
Improves you.
And so that's what he was like. I felt like I owed her to at least be a good man. Yeah, to be a good man to her. Like she taught me so much that I needed to learn in life, and like she gave me balance. He was like, so like I married her. I felt like she was the one. But
So what day did he lose balance? The divorce day?
no,
I think that there's no.
it's a lot.
Any reason outside of your own personal happiness and the way and love and all of that stuff that's at the core should be the base of every relationship. Anything outside of that, the relationship is bound to fail if you stay for any other reason outside of that.
Yeah, he said he wanted to do get into, because I don't want to tell all his business for the listeners to know who I'm talking about, but he wanted to get into a business. And I told him, I was like, oh yeah, me and our other associates were like, yeah, that's a good idea. And he was like, yeah, my wife said no. That's a bad idea. I need to do this
Was she using his
instead.
money?
No.
Was he using her money? Is the question.
No.
Yeah.
He's the breadwinner. And it was like,
Okay.
He made more. I don't know if he's the breadwinner.
he is. She doesn't work.
He can't think, so he's not the breadwinner.
No, that's powerful.
Yeah,
Seriously.
yeah,
'Cause
like
So-
she's the breadwinner. What?
Yeah, she doesn't work.
So does he have low self-esteem?
I don't know.
How you don't know?
He might. I mean, because he never gave me that he had low self-esteem.
Why?
But
Because he had money, cars. Oh, that's low self-esteem stuff.
no, like he just has like a confidence about himself, the way he walks, the way he enters a room, the way he talks about himself. So to hear that this issue was going on with him was actually surprising and shocking. And he was like, yeah, like.
So he in an abusive relationship.
I mean, really, because if you're in a marriage, if as a couple you decide together and you talk about it and you say, you know what, after talking about it, it's a good idea for us not to do this. But for a man to say, my wife won't let me, like that whole language, that whole narrative is disturbing. Like if she disagrees with something,
Both ways, right? If
both
a man
ways,
did it, and a
either
woman
way,
did it.
yeah.
Okay.
Like I might have an idea, but if you're my partner, there might be something that you see that I don't see. So let's talk about it.
Absolutely.
And whatever decision we come up with is a joint decision. It's not a dictatorship. where I'm going to be saying, oh, he won't let me. No, we talked about it and we decided together that this is not the route to
not
go.
do it.
She called it, and I don't know, I might get him in trouble for this, but she called it stupid. So he was like, yeah, she won't let me do it. I'm sorry to hear
So now
about that.
They're getting a divorce now?
Yeah, this is like, this conversation with him was like 2 years ago.
So he's getting a divorce now?
Yeah, he's getting divorced now.
So
Get your man, Nique.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Nah, we cool, but nah.
I'm
he
kidding.
available?
Nah,
He available?
nah.
He available? You're breadwinner?
He's single.
Y'all about to get me in trouble.
Yeah. Wow.
Single.
No?
No, that's okay.
Can't do it. Won't do it.
Can't do it. I have learned not to date your friends.
Oh, okay. So these things you believe, these neat truths.
Neat truths.
Yeah, neat truths. So when a man, maybe, like, how does a person get that much real estate in your life?
You surrender it.
I don't understand.
No,
that.
I think that when it happened to me, I surrendered it.
'Cause
it was like, here, take it.
Now, this is no problem for a man of a certain age.
Okay.
Y'all been married 50 years and your wife want to dress you. Right? So,
Yeah.
I know, like, the woman's dressing them, he's telling them this is cool. Your woman don't know what's cool, man.
Yeah, I think Yusuf's answer, 1, people surrender it. 2, I learned that many people have this warped idea of what marriage is supposed to be.
What it's supposed to be.
Is it?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
What is the warpness? Like, what is it?
Like I'm supposed to surrender to my other.
Is it marriage or relationships?
I think more so marriage than relationships,
more so than-
because there's some things that you put up with,
in a marriage.
that you might not necessarily put up with in, if it's not a marriage. And this and the two become one. Like, people need to understand what that means. Actually, it does not mean what people think it means. Yeah. What?
Nothing.
Oh,
yeah. yeah. Wasn't on you. Wasn't on you. Man. Nothing to do with you.
yeah.
Little inside joke. People.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That's a perfect point. It's just you just can't. I sometimes get. I can't figure out.
Can't figure out what.
I'm trying to figure out my words.
Because that inside joke.
I got a little distracted there. Yeah.
But
That's
I
why
agree.
we don't do that on RSP.
Yeah.
Usually,
That's off. But I agree. I think people have an illusion of what marriage is supposed to look like, and they try to mimic it, and they fail doing it.
Yeah.
Well, what? From what angle?
I was
think it
hoping
starts
you
from-
wouldn't ask, because then I don't like to blame the church.
Okay.
That's a
No, but that's a
sensitive
lot.
Because that is big.
But
that
that's
is
part
very
of it.
big.
Oh, okay. The church.
Part of it now. Part of it.
Okay. When you say the church,
Yeah.
do you mean what you should be doing, or what the church actually says what you should be doing?
What the church says you should be doing.
Well, and here's the thing.
You said
What the church says you should be doing. I think that I think that sometimes the church doesn't do a good job of really explaining and talking about and counseling couples on what a marriage is from a biblical perspective, because even the stuff in the Bible that talks about and the two become one, it's more spiritual.
Yes.
It's
so-
way more spiritual than it is anything else, but I don't think that that's taught. And so people think that it has to do with those other conditions that are like either physical or about the money or about ideals. And it's more about the two become one, really, so that you can like live a kingdom life and be a representation of God on earth. That's what two becoming one
That is
really
a
means.
great explanation.
So the
on
church
that.
is saying stay together, stay together.
Yeah.
So
through
sometimes
it all.
Through it all. And some of the traditional stuff about the man being the head, yes, the head of your spiritual life.
Yeah, but he could be the head of the household too.
He
But
can't-
that doesn't mean
yeah, it doesn't mean
that
what
doesn't
people
mean
think it means.
a dictatorship.
Right.
Yeah.
By no means.
And some people make it a dictatorship.
Yeah, so I think it's a combination of that. Sometimes what they see in other couples that they look at as the example, and what they're looking at sometimes is not it's an example, but not the exemplar.
Not the example.
And a lot of times it comes from when you don't come from that type of household, you're not from a 2-parent household, you want that for your own kids. Just like Yusuf said, he wanted that for his kids. So going into that,
Well,
he wanted to have that good marriage that lasts. That he wasn't able to experience.
Not good marriage, but something.
Well, you wanted
you wanted it to be a good marriage.
Well, let me say, I'm gonna say something.
You know what? Every time I try to say something good about you, you go in and say, "Not really."
We good.
But
I just agreed with you earlier, Nique.
it don't matter. I'm sitting here giving you praise.
Exactly.
You
I
damn
just
it,
agreed
you
with
gonna
you earlier.
like I can only get one agreement per show.
I'm gonna say something.
Yeah, per season.
Now, mind you, almost every episode, I say something real Yusuf
Okay, you do.
that somehow changes how people look at me.
Okay.
I'm about to say something.
Oh God.
Early in my marriage, and this goes back to the point, we're staying on the point of what people perceive marriage is supposed to be according to the church. Early in my marriage, I had an opportunity to cheat.
To cheat.
I had an opportunity to.
Okay, buddy. I was with you. I think I'm out.
Okay. I had an opportunity to cheat.
You shouldn't have even been in.
Yeah, I'm out. I tried to get a benefit of the doubt. I am out.
But
He was doing so good.
do you know why I didn't not cheat because it was the wrong thing to do? I did not cheat because I thought I'd go to hell.
Whatever convicts you.
Oh, that's good. Okay, we'll
Like,
take it.
that's why I didn't. I didn't because I thought I would go to hell. Like
But
I was
it
like,
could be both. It could be both.
I was like, no, I go to hell. I can't do this. I'm married. Like, no,
Really?
Something like that though.
devil, get off me.
Yep. That's how
Well,
they
I mean, that's not bad.
No, that's not bad.
Okay,
Because we've done some things for some other reason.
No, I thought it should have been. I thought it should be because I love my wife. Is the reason why I can't do this.
You were young.
But that's not the way.
And dumb,
That's
right?
not the way you don't cheat.
You getting dumb?
No, I was just dumb. I can't put age on stupidity.
Is that why you don't cheat?
I mean, I don't cheat, first of all.
Well,
But there
I'm not
are some
saying you.
people-
Okay.
I think there are some people. I don't know. I think when you get to a certain age, like, because see, here's what Christians say. Here's what they figured out.
Okay.
All I gotta do is ask for forgiveness.
So, but that's not true either.
I agree.
It's not true the way they're going about it.
But that's the perception. That's the mindset.
and they'll say
So-
I forgave myself, so you should forgive me too.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like not cheating. Like my reason for not cheating probably has sometimes less to do with the person I'm with.
Okay.
I have so much personal pride.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't allow you the opportunity to position me as a cheater, or you could have that over my head to cheat.
I'm the same way.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't give you the honor of being able to tell anybody I cheated.
I'm the same way.
So my reason for cheating isn't always because, you're just in love. But just personally,
Yeah.
for my own frame of mind, no.
If
I
you
don't
were to
have
ask
the
my
time.
friends right now, I could literally call any one of my girls right now and put her on speaker
Uh-huh.
and say, what is the thing that I pride myself in the most about? I know the way I word it sounds bad, but pride myself in the most about my divorce. Okay. And they'll all tell you the fact that you were blameless. Like I pride myself in that.
And that's like a banner you can kind of carry. like-
Absolutely.
That's good.
yeah. I pride myself in that.
yeah. So does it come down to personal pride?
Yeah.
Even without losing who you are as a person?
Yeah,
Like I refuse for you to think you control everything I do. Like,
Right.
like no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know, but I do have another theory.
Okay. All right.
It comes from accepting compliments.
All right.
Telling you.
You lost me there.
I'm telling you, stop letting these women hype you. Stop listening to your lady. She's supposed to tell you it look good. Stop.
So stop listening to your lady give you compliments. Because
All-
doing so
all
will do what?
It softens you. And
Really?
you need that edge. If you don't have that edge, you can't cut
Yeah.
nothing. When I leave this house, I got way cuts. Now you coming outside super soft. And then you start hanging on your woman's word. Like she lift, because some people will lift you up so high and then just knock you down. Little peg, little punch. Reach you up again, put you down, put you down. Like, no.
That's
I'm cool.
interesting.
I'm cool. I dress myself. Thank you.
I'll say,
Interesting
you know what?
perspective.
I love
Yeah.
those shoes with those jeans. They compliment you very well.
No.
They're not tight, but they're not too loose. They really look
You
nice
can
on
you can be like, yeah,
They're
because that's the way
tailored
I plan
really
for it to be. Yeah. But it wouldn't be based upon her. And then sometimes I think women do that.
But a man who's not confident will not be able to do that.
Oh God. Okay.
because he's going to look for
Then I guess I
validation.
can't judge them.
Yeah, he's going to look for validation.
No validation.
He was like, "You really like this shirt? Really?
Oh, shoot.
You about to wear that thing every day."
Yeah.
Taking a selfie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then that's when you tell me you look dumb. You look real dumb, sir.
No, be like, you know what? Let me love that. That was gorgeous.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Well, not gorgeous, handsome.
Be
I'm
careful
sorry.
with your verbiage, Nique.
I'm sorry. My apologies.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Nique, you apologize for the last time. Nobody's gonna believe you.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
So, with the topic of our show being when is it time to leave, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes.
now.
Sometimes it's the clock.
No.
Sometimes
Time to go.
Yeah, it's time to go.
Right
Get
about
on the
now.
move.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening on our show today. It's your girl, Nique Cruz.
Tisha Samuel, aka Professor T.
CL Butler.
And your boy Yusuf, and we are out.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Relationship Status. Remember, you can catch us on relationshipstatuspodcast.com, iTunes, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, Nobody Grinds Like Us, and anywhere you listen to your favorite podcasts. If you would like to join the conversation or leave us a Dear Nique, email us at relstatpodcast@gmail.com or call us at 843-310-8637. Follow us on Facebook at Relationship Status Podcast, on Instagram and Twitter at RELSTAT Podcast. And don't forget to comment, share, 5-star rate, subscribe, and review.